Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I am Madhavdas G. First up, a quick look at the NH10 at a glance. First up, Rahul Gandhi dropped his atom bomb against the Election Commission. Today, he claimed that there was vote chori during the Lok Sabha polls and that the Election Commission helped the BJP win. But at least 4 state CEOs have come out and openly countered Rahul Gandhi. Later in the show, we'll be discussing Trump's threat of secondary sanctions. After imposing a 50% tariff on India, many within Bharat are now calling for some sort of a retaliation. Even China is siding with India on this. Viewers, just like Donald Trump's tariff tirade against India is getting boring now, the India bloc's tirade against Election Commission is not really inspiring a lot of confidence. While today, Rahul Gandhi dropped his atom bomb, a series of allegations against the poll panel that proves, quote-unquote, his vote chori theory, or at least allegedly does. Before going deep into what the Congress MP showed as evidence, quote-unquote, let's explain what really his charges are. Let's take a look at what he said at this particular press conference. He's, of course, cited reams and reams of paper, which he says really contain voter lists, duplication, all sorts of charges that have been made. Fake and invalid addresses, 40,000 is what he has claimed. There are several other such charges that have been made by Rahul Gandhi. He's alleged that there are several voters, for instance, who are in particular constituencies who, in fact, he said, of course, that the EC is colluding with the BJP. He has lobbed these charges at the Election Commission, also saying that the EC is stealing these elections. He's further gone on to make an allegation of a crime against the Constitution that he alleges is being perpetrated by the Election Commission. He also says he has concrete proof of this theft that is allegedly taking place. This is also a charge that he has made, that Election Commission is looking to destroy the evidence of such actions having taken place. This is what Rahul Gandhi has stated, and in particular, he has backed it up with these charges flying thick and fast with a particular case in Karnataka. Now, the Congress Member of Parliament has claimed that there is one particular constituency during the Lok Sabha polls which saw, quote-unquote, vote chori in massive numbers. Let's take you through this allegation as well. What exactly is he talking about? He's talking about Mahadev Pura in Bangalore Central. He's talking about the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, the Bangalore Central Lok Sabha seat, as we've already discussed. And if you can quickly bring up the next set of graphics faster on the screen, Mahadev Pura assembly segment is what we've already told you is where we are discussing the data. This is what we are talking about in terms of the allegation that has been made. Now, the margin over here was 32,707 votes. The BJP got 6,58,915. It won in one of 7 segments. The Congress got 6,26,208, won in 6 of 7 segments. It's just the one segment of Mahadevpura that has swung the seats drastically towards the BJP. And that is why there are questions being raised by the Congress party and Mr. Rahul Gandhi as to how this can particularly happen. Is there some kind of mystery in what's being alleged? He has alleged that there were 1,250,000 votes that were stolen in Mahadevpura. But do the numbers really add up is a very big question, because this is the claim that has been made as far as the Mahadevpura seat is concerned. He says there are 40,009 fake invalid addresses that have been given in this particular constituency. He has also made other charges of various voters, etc., being duplicated. And he has also, of course, raised serious questions as to what really was, in fact, transpiring in the particular part. Okay, there is, of course, another allegation of these 33,000 votes that were, in fact, also improperly allocated. Now, the claim that has been made is that the BJP has won 25 Lok Sabha seats by 33,000 votes or less. The logic being given over here is that the PM needed only 25 seats to stay in power as far as the last Lok Sabha elections are concerned. There's also, of course, a claim that BJP won 25 Lok Sabha seats by these 33,000 votes or less. And, of course, this is the logic that has been given as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned. Serious questions really of what exactly has been happening. Let's take a look at what the Election Commission has said as far as its own CEOs are concerned. The Election Commission has refused to let questions be asked about its integrity after multiple state poll panels have responded to Rahul Gandhi. Now the UP Chief Electoral Officer has reacted. Rahul had alleged that one Aditya Srivastav is a registered voter in Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. But the UP CEO has fact-checked Rahul's claim, terming them as incorrect. Let's take you through how the Chief Electoral Officers of different states have responded to Rahul. Quick look at what, of course, the UP CEO has done. He has fact-checked Rahul Gandhi on the particular statement of one individual called Mr. Srivastav. Let's take a look at what the others have in fact come out and said. Haryana CEO also has asked him to take oath. We've seen the Karnataka CEO also come out and ask him to take an oath and submit whatever irregularities might be there. The Maharashtra CEO also has similarly asked him to come and take an oath as far as this entire case is concerned.
I'm a politician. Okay. What I say to the people is my word. Right? I'm saying it publicly to everybody. Take it as an oath. This is their data, and we are displaying their data. This is not our data. This is Election Commission data. It's interestingly, they haven't denied the information. They haven't said what the voter lists that Rahul Gandhi is talking about are wrong. They're saying, will you do it under oath? Why don't you say they're wrong? Because you know the truth. And you know that we know that you've done this across the country.
We begin with the allegations that have been made by Rahul Gandhi. He is alleging a massive vote fraud. He's talking about how there's duplication. He's talking about multiple voters registered at a particular address. He's talking about all sorts of inconsistencies as far as the voter list is concerned. If this was indeed the case, let me begin by asking you, why has it taken a year and a half after the Lok Sabha poll to be bringing this out in the public domain if this was the scale of the errors that are being reported from there? Rizwan Arshad.
The fact of the matter, Madhav, is that the Election Commission's data, it's not transparent. The way they store the data, the way they disclose the data itself is in a fashion that nobody can understand this whole exercise. It's very difficult to analyze. So our party and particularly our leader has taken a lot of time out, with a lot of patience. Scientifically, we have analyzed the data and we have tried to explain it to the people with facts and with data. I mean, he has not just come out in a fashion that he generalizing any accusation. He has very clearly said how many duplicate voters, how many voters where the Form 6 was misused to include it into the voter list, how many voters with fake addresses, and everything with scientific data. He has come out and exposed it in front of the people. So it has taken a lot of time for us. That is why today our leader Shri Rahul Gandhi Ji very clearly told EC that you have to provide the data which is transparent enough and scientifically which can be analyzed by the people to make this process a transparent process and free and fair process.
Rahul Gandhi had made a lot of claims about the voter list in Maharashtra. The Election Commission put out its clarifications. The matter goes to the High Court. The High Court did not grant any kind of relief or find Election Commission wanting on any count. At least at the moment, there is no such finding as far as the High Court is concerned. They have given a clean sheet to the Election Commission. So while that may be the case as far as the other issues you mentioned, as far as the voter list in Maharashtra, that is not factually correct to state.
No, I don't agree, Madhav, because I am a political worker from my teenage and I have been working and fighting elections. I don't understand in just 5 months' time how can you include 40 to 50 lakh new voters. From where do you generate that kind of voters in Maharashtra? That is one. Two, Madhav, the problem here is the Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. The Election Commission doesn't act to create confidence among all the sections of the society and political spectrum. The problem with the Election Commission today is they have a different set of rules when it comes to BJP. They have different set of rules when it comes to opposition. If I have to tell you a small, examples of why the Election Commission looks little complicit in this. See, when Rahul Ji raised the issues of Election Commission's misconduct and voter list and election kind of fraud in elections, they tried to amend the rules and say, we will destroy the CCTVs in 45 days instead of 1 year, which they were mandated to save it. And they removed the Chief Justice of India in the selection process of the Chief Election Commission. So, they tried to
that is a completely different issue. The court order itself had given the mandate for the CJI or for the complexion of that committee to be changed. But Rizwan, the point is, will you now take legal action? Will you take up this matter legally? The Election Commission has also given an option of filling out a form and Mr. Rahul Gandhi giving the corrected data. Will all of these aspects or these legal aspects of this be now explored? Are the correct avenues?
The party will definitely decide what route to take to fight this. We will not only take legal action, we will go back to the people and we will fight it on the streets. We, in the Congress party, believe that it is the sacrifice of our forefathers which brought independence to this country. We will sacrifice today, this generation will sacrifice our lives and our careers to safeguard democracy and constitution in the country. So we will fight it out. We will expose. We have no problem if Modi ji or BJP wins the elections, comes back to power fairly and conducting a free and fair and transparent election. But we will have a problem if they manipulate the elections and the Election Commission in a way conducts itself that it creates a conducive environment for BJP to manipulate elections. Then we will fight it out. Whoever it is, we will hold them responsible. It is our democratic right. The Constitution has given us right. Chief Election Commission or anybody is not above the Constitution, and the way today elections are held in India, the suspicion and the environment is vitiated by the actions of the VC. When any political leader gives a hate speech or a communal speech during elections, the Election Commission doesn't take cognizance if they are from the BJP. They have any small issue from the opposition, they'll file a case.
Okay.
What is this happening? But everybody is watching what the Election Commission is doing. It is solely on the Election Commission, on their conduct, to come out of this suspicion and come out and conduct themselves free and fairly and generate confidence among the people.
Mr. Rizwan Arshad, there are many who would argue that the very fact that there is, a lot of inconsistency of the data, the quality of the data gathered, all of this really shows the need for having a special intensive revision in the first place.
See, if you have any revision with a fair mind and a fair intention, there is no issue. When they had a SIR kind of a exercise in my constituency, they deleted nearly 9,000 votes, and 7,000 votes belong to one community. Okay, so if we go on exposing them, it is too much. Our thing is, we have no problem with conducting any kind of a revision, but do it fairly is our contention.
But why has not a single complaint been filed in the case of Bihar?
On the basis of religion.
Rizwan Arshad, there were so many complaints of SIR in Bihar. 1 week down the line, not a single party has filed a single objection.
Yes.
Why is that the case?
Definitely they will do. That is because the 65 lakh deleted votes. I'm not working for the Congress in Bihar, so I would not like to comment there. Our colleagues who are working there will comment. But I would like to say, in a common sense, 65 lakh voters are being deleted in Bihar from electoral rolls. Why doesn't BJP? So why does the Election Commission doesn't come out with the data of the 65 lakh votes? Why do we have to approach the court, to the Supreme Court, and ask the court to direct the Election Commission to delay? When you're deleting 65 lakh votes, is it not fair for you to come out and publish it in front of the people? Said these are the 65 lakh voters we have doubt on and we are going to delete. Why are you not doing? Why do you force us to go to the court?
All right, let's quickly take this across to our guest. Joining us now is Tehseen Purawala, political analyst, Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP. Tehseen, a question that I asked just now from, Mr. Rizwan Arshad of the Congress. He's incidentally from the same constituency which was being alleged, at least Bangalore Central, he's fought elections in the past. But the point being made over here is this, that if there was such a huge scale of violations, and let's take Rahul Gandhi at face value, A, why was it not reported before? B, why is it that, the matter has not been taken up legally? Rahul Gandhi makes these allegations. But in terms of legal action, going to Election Commission, going to the High Courts, taking it up legally, not happened in Maharashtra. At the moment, hasn't happened in the case of Karnataka either.
Thank you so much for asking that question. It's a very valid question. A lot of people since afternoon, since Rahul G's press conference have asked that question. I think it's a fair question to ask, except we must go into a little bit of the past. They wanted a digital record, which was readable digital record, so that they could sort out these records and come up with this, with these discrepancies. That was only given in the paper format. It is only now, after a 6-month process, that they have some sort of a digital record where they've been able to sort out the discrepancies, and now therefore the process to go to the Election Commission or the authorities as maybe and show them these discrepancies. You see what happens in SR, when we were arguing, I have argued with Tuhin in a lot of shows, they said everything is now digital, we are digital India, and we respect that. Now if you're digital India, you give us paper rolls. How do you look at paper rolls that are lakhs and lakhs? And you know this, Mahadev. So to get this, to make sure it's accurate, and what Rahul G said, they are there on those ECI websites. Now we're saying one name,
1.5 years? Digital India, 1.5 years it takes to digitize records.
So you ask the government of India that should do it now, the same government.
The government can answer. I'm not speaking for the government. I'm just saying 1.5 years is a considerable amount of time.
You see,
and you've not answered my question about the legal aspect. Will you now give those oaths which the Karnataka CEO, the UP CEO, the Maharashtra CEO and the Haryana CEO are asking for?
And now I'll come to your legal aspect. I answered the first part, I'll come to your legal aspect. But one thing I just want to tell the viewers of friends now. This one bedroom apartment. So even my people have gone there with the team. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, 80 families of different religions and castes staying there. How is this possible? How is this possible? It's happened in Delhi also. Arvind Kejriwal ji has also spoken about it. It's happened everywhere. Now, how is it selectively? I don't like Arvind Kejriwal ji. Let me put it out there. But his constituency votes go and he loses. Somebody else's votes add.
So why don't you submit it?
Now I'll come to the legal part.
Because that's the question.
Yeah, now I'll come to the legal part because it's a very important question. Maharashtra, 11 people that I know have gone to court. It's strange that their petition, their candidates has not come up. But what came up in the Bombay High Court? A petition that was malicious in my opinion, that was fake, taken on paper reports.
That is okay. All right. Let us assume that was a fake and malicious crowd. Let me take your argument at face value. Tuhin can counter you on that. He will know more about Mumbai than I do. But my simple question, which you've still not answered, is Rahul Gandhi going to submit that oath which the CEOs are asking for? He can give these details of the lacunae in the voter list.
The Election Commission of India, while dealing with the honorable leader of opposition, rather than ask him, I submit this on oath or that on oath as if he's some sort of a criminal in a court of law, should come and offer to work with him on the discrepancies he said, rather than putting him in a dock and treating him like a criminal.
Sir, you are not going to court. You are not leveling charges against the Election Commission.
Now look what they've done. Just allow me to prove it. Now look what they've done. The one name that was a double name, because we all saw that on the website from Uttar Pradesh, they deleted it and say, oh, now it doesn't exist. Why didn't you
deleted it?
It will come out. It will come out immediately because nothing on the internet.
Tejasvi Yadav incidentally had a double name. That's what we saw a few days ago.
Which is why SIR is important.
So that shows that there is a problem. There is a problem in our system, perhaps, and let's rectify the system. There's nothing wrong with that.
So there's a problem. Don't see me as a criminal.
This is a system that has existed for decades. But let me bring in Tuhin Sinha. Tuhin Sinha, now suddenly the names have been deleted from voter lists, and then you're coming up and demanding oath from us. That's the sum and substance of Tehseen Purawala's arguments. Please respond to it.
Well, good evening, Madhav. Good evening, Mahadev. Good evening, everybody. You know, in his press conference today, Rahul Gandhi in the afternoon and Tehseen now have once again made the case, have justified the need for an immediate pan-India SIR. You know, the point is Rahul Gandhi enjoys, you know, every time I hear his press conference, he seems to be on a mission to malign, you know, institutions. Now, let me specifically come to two arguments of his. When he talks about Mahadev Pura, I can talk about Malegaon Central, You know, what happened in Mahadev, Pura, exactly also happened in Malegaon Central. In Dhule constituency, we convincingly won 5 of the assembly constituencies, and then in Malegaon Central, you know, the other side got 42 votes is to 1 compared to us, and they won, you know, they won by a big margin. So are we blaming the Election Commission for that? These are part of the process. He certainly mentions that in Maharashtra, 1 crore new voters were added. Now, I have some data with me. In 2024 assembly elections in Maharashtra, 16.76% new voters were added. You know, but that is not very different from the previous years. In 2014, 16.58% new voters were added. In 2004, 20.72% new voters were added. And if we go back to 1990, 35% new voters were added. It's a part of the process. You know, if you remember 2 years before, even before the Karnataka Assembly election, 16 lakh new voters were added, and just before the Telangana Assembly elections, 22 lakh new voters were deleted. The fact is, if Rahul Gandhi alleges that he was not being provided digital data by the Election Commission, does he have the courage to say that whatever findings his team has come up with is there on digital data which he can provide to the Election Commission? He cannot. And that is the reason he will never sign on the oath form or the declaration form which the Election Commission is asking him to do. And that is why his politics is all about maligning the country. He seems to be headed to occupy the space vacated by Naxals in the country.
May I please reply?
All right, respond to that.
Tuin's made some very pertinent points. But look, the question asked of Tuin is A, but like as if he's reading from a script, he's only answering what he wants to answer, not the specific questions. So Tuin, let me take you on head on. You refer to Maharashtra. Can you please explain to me why the 7% surge after 5 p.m.? I'm not talking about anything else. The video was deleted. Why are you not giving it us, and why retrospectively the law? Please, Tuin, I never interrupted you. Please, Tuin. Tuin, please. I'll give you the answer for Telangana. I knew that you answered. But Tuin, I know your answers. Tuin, please, trust me, I know your answers. Mahadev, and you don't have to interrupt me. Allow me to make my point. Thank you. I know you'll say Telangana. I am telling you on this show, please put out the Telangana videos and please put out the Maharashtra videos. Please put it out. You went to court and retrospectively changed the law when the High Court said give the videos. Why? Congress is not objecting. You are objecting to it. Point 1. Answer that question. Point number 2. You are saying that in Maharashtra, in Dhule, in Malegaon Central, there has been something that's gone wrong. I'm with you. That's exactly what Rahul Gandhi is saying, that Maharashtra is happening. No, now you're saying, please, just 10 seconds more. Now you're saying this is the need for a countrywide SR. We're also with you. But do the process fairly. We are not saying don't do the SR. Is there no voter revision before? Until now, every debate,
so Tehseen, why have 0 complaints? A huge 0 number of complaints filed in the last 1 week. Why is that the case? After so many complaints about the SIR. Why is no complaint filed?
I'll explain to you why complaints will now come in. Because the names have been uploaded without the papers being submitted. That still has to be submitted in Bihar. That is the difference. Because when the Honorable Supreme Court stepped in, they said, okay, you put your name.
So what were the agents doing all this time? When the last 1 month of data collection was happening?
Now there will be a compiled list of the final names that are deleted. Which is why the anticipated names deleted could go as high as 2 crores, which is scary. Please understand this. Now what they're saying, 90%
no, they're saying 65 lakhs. Where is the question of 2 crores?
That's true. That's true. That's why they are saying that 90% names have come in at 65 lakhs. Let the final papers come in. That's when you will make the submission. And please remember, the Honorable Supreme Court is still going to hear that matter. And that's when the final...
So you're waiting for Supreme Court. Your question is why do you report you're in the highest court of the land? That is essentially the answer to the question, that you're waiting for the Supreme Court before starting the process of participating. No, you should trust the Supreme Court. Appeal the High Court orders for the video on Supreme Court. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that? And if you trust the Supreme Court so much, rather than shouting at the Election Commissioner, the BJP, take the court, legal recourse, take the legal recourse of what Rahul Gandhi is saying and approach the courts with all of these documents and data. But the point is, whenever you got to the court has heard the matters, whether it's VVPATs, whether it is EVMs, they have heard, and we know what the final orders are. Tehseen, if there are anything wrong with the procedures, with the practices of the Election Commission, then surely the courts will intervene. All right, let Tuin come in. Tuin, your response to this. Your response to this explanation as to why not a single complaint has been made in Bihar.
Madhav, based on what has Madhav, based on what happened last Saturday, there is a reasonable possibility that Tejasvi Yadav has 2 voter IDs. I'm still waiting for the final investigation report on that. But the point is, if this is how they want to contest elections with their own leaders having 2 or 3 different voter IDs, God save this country. I don't know what they want to defend. Why are they running away from an SIR? But I also want to make a larger political point today. Did you hear Rahul Gandhi's argument? He says, how is it that anti-incumbency is not catching up with BJP after 11 years. This is what Congress needs to understand, that we are performing, unlike the Congress governments which waylaid the country. If we have opened 55 crore bank accounts and, put 40 lakh crores plus amount in the hands of poor directly through DBT, it shows. And our performance is what we have. Our performance has led to pro-incumbency. But Rahul Gandhi, it's a sulk. He believes that government should be weeded out after 10 years, which is what the Congress governments have been in the last many decades.
The BJP spokesperson, my friend Tuhin, says Tejasvi has 2 epic numbers. I agree. They only came out subject to final investigation.
I said there is reasonable
doubt. I agree. There's reasonable doubt subject to final investigation. It only came out when the leader of opposition in Bihar put it out. The election commission didn't even know that. That is what we're saying. Now,
the voter ID you gave was wrong.
Not once.
I'm sorry, that is not. No, this is exactly the problem. This is exactly the problem. This is a press conference. Just as what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has done today, he has made a public statement in a press conference.
Sure.
This is the point I'm just trying to make.
I agree.
File a case in a court of law. Go to the election. No, you will do it, but the party is concerned. Neither Tejasvi Yadav has done so far, nor Mr. Rahul Gandhi has done so far. Are you going to approach the court on their behalf?
Please allow me a flow.
No, are you going to go on the court on their behalf?
I can't answer this way because not once has the BJP been interrupted. Just allow me a flow. I'll give you all those answers. I know the questions that are going to come in. There has to be a logic. I can't speak illogical or national TV. So please allow me my flow. One, it is only when Tejasvi Yadav in a press conference puts it out, the election commission wakes up, smells the coffee and says, oh my God, you guys have 2. Which is precisely what we are telling you. Now, before I come to your question whether someone will go to court or wherever they'll go, the second part to it is we are for an SIR. On this show, I said we are for an SIR. The MLA before me said that we are for an SIR. But you keep repeating we don't want an SIR. We're saying the process has to be above board. Not to come to your question. We already are in court, in different courts, different high courts and in the Supreme Court. The question and the problem to be asked, and I end here. I don't even want to go to EVM because that's another matter, but let me end here. It is strange and curious, with the most humble respect and hands folded, I'm saying, that candidates' petitions don't come up, but strange petitions are coming up.
Okay, I'm glad that Congress and other parties have at least stopped talking about the EVM, because the same EVM brought you to power in at least 2 Lok Sabha elections and I don't know how many dozen assembly elections. So I found that argument of EVM a bit strange. Your government happens to be there in Karnataka where this alleged voter fraud has happened, which itself is of course raising several questions, because if anything, people accuse the ruling party of fixing elections. This is exactly the opposite that's happening. But Tuhin Sinha, if there are certain valid complaints and concerns about the electoral practices, why is a debate not happening in Parliament? And should these practices, should these concerns not be addressed adequately by whoever concerned, the government of the day, the election commission, or whichever courts of law they may eventually approach?
No, of course, Madhav, we have an extremely responsive election commission which responds within minutes. It has been cajoling. It has been cajoling Rahul Gandhi to submit a written complaint, which Rahul Gandhi has not been doing for the last 2 months. And I am very amused. If you noticed, my friend Tehseen was subtly justifying Tejasvi's 2 voter IDs and blaming the election commission for not being efficient. Now the problem, if RJD is seeped in a certain criminality and is such master of the craft that election commission is also taking its time to find out, you can't blame the election commission. You have to support the process. You have to support.
Completely. Tehseen, there's other breaking news coming in. Please, there's a lot of news coming in. Tuhin Sinha, Tehseen Poonawalla, it's been an interesting debate. We will have to see what finally comes out of this. The election commission is, of course, seized of the matter. Will there be a formal complaint? Will there be formal oaths that are taken and data and proof submitted? All of that is something that we're going to watch out over the next few days. Thanks so much for joining us.